Greetings, friends. Greetings, friends. Oh, I've got the sound on again. I've got this loopy thing on again. What's going on? Loopy thing. What's going on? I'm gonna turn that off. I've got reverb now. I've got a bunch of things going on in this. I've got this little box here, and I can make my voice higher pitched if I want to. I can bring it back down and bring it all the way down here. So that's kind of fun. I can
Make myself sound higher like this.
like this. We've got a little bit of stuff going on. How you guys doing? I'm gonna start off with a song about the cosmos. This is an oldie. I gotta turn down my volume or I'm gonna freak out the thing. Hold on a second. That's good for singing, right? Cosmic background, all the heat coming off. Intercombining hot plasma. Cosmic background on the heat of raw concrete matter. Looking back through that age to the origin, the Big Bang. Looking for inflation in the cosmos. 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 You can sing along if you want. In the cosmos. Looking for inflation in the cosmos. All of space is alive with an ambience, unblinking since matter was young. A swarm that screams what can never be seen from our view of how the world was begun. It's far too much to know all the words to this song I wrote 5 years ago. I should have looked them up before I came here, but the chorus is still good to go. It's the surface light. Oh. In the surface of life. Can you hear me? You don't hear the piano regularly, and it's cutting in and out. You say. Is it worse with the music? Like, can you hear me when I'm just singing? There's some kind of delay. I'm not sure what's going on. It might be some sort of safety feature because I've got it turned up a little too loud. When you're just talking, it's fine. It's off with the video now. I don't know what to do with that. If it's it's synced here, so if it's desynced there, I have no idea. What if I do that? Can you hear that? Yeah, yeah. Oh, bring the reverb back now. Bring the reverb back now. I'm still working out the kinks in this live streaming thing. This was a song about a discovery that didn't end up being a discovery. It was actually disproven later on by who was it? I think it was a WMAP Planck. One of those people looked into it and they were like, yeah, that thing that you thought was a proof of inflation wasn't actually a proof of inflation. It was just you looked at some dust in the galaxy and that was all that it was. So I wrote this whole song, and even once I was making it, I realized that probably it might not be the real thing. So I included verses about how it might not be the real thing, but still went out. It's the surface of life that we'll use to show if inflation's force through space as round till we find our place in the polarizing in the surface light, surface of light. Welcome to the show, people. This is the third day doing this. How's everyone doing today? Let me know in the chat comments what's going on. Day 3. I've still got this bloody cough. I think it's getting a little better. Whether I have COVID or not, I will survive. Still can't really get tested where I am. I mean, you can, but you have to be like a very high priority case, and I am definitely not. So what about some 20-second songs for hand washing? Oh, that's Leslie. That's not a bad idea. Hi from Wisconsin. Where's everybody else? Can you please start your streams earlier? It's 11 p.m. for me. Oh, sorry, Malike. That's such a challenge here because, like, so here's the deal. For one thing, I'm trying to hit like as much of the world as possible, and that means that like here it's it was 3 when I started. Yesterday was 2. I've been trying to do earlier, but today I needed to do childcare. So I'm trying to hit the West Coast, and then like in the West Coast, it's when I started this, it was noon, and then in Europe, I'm trying to hit Europe, and like ideally I should do this like in the morning, but like for here to get all the planet. But unfortunately, my mornings right now are taken by taking care of my niece and nephew, so I can't do that. So I'm gonna start by apologizing right up front for the, what would you call it, I titled this Going Loopy, and I was really hoping that today excuse me, today I would have my looper set up so that we could start doing some real like build up some loops and stuff. And that's what this thing was supposed to be for. I was supposed to connect it to my computer, and then I've got a program set up where I can control these loops with buttons and faders and stuff. Unfortunately, the looper's on the fritz. I can't figure out what's going on with it. I spent like an hour trying to trying to work out how to make it work, and like this thing connects to the computer, but for some reason the computer, the Looper program just isn't doing the sending of sound to where it's supposed to be. Yeah, so I don't know. I guess it's just another one of those days. The closest I can do to looping. I don't know. I guess it's this thing again where I turn up the. I don't know. I guess it's this thing where I turn up the audio from the outcoming stream and I put it back into the incoming stream. The audio from the outcoming stream, which is kind of crazy making the incoming stream. So I don't think I'll do that much. Maybe I'll do that today halfway through once I get bored again. So there was the other thing is my monitor keeps cutting out. JM says, how about a rainbow connection about how rainbows work? That's not a bad idea. Yeah, let's see what we can do with that. Why are there so many colors in rainbows? What's in a drop of sky? Rainbows are reflections, also refractions, different wavelengths bend wide. What's so confusing about frequencies using different speeds in media? Someday we'll find it, the rainbow explanation. Just kidding, we already know. Lights made of wavelengths, we call them colors. Red, orange, green, and all the rest. They go in a droplet, and it doesn't stop it. It simply separates them, I guess. Shorter the wavelength, the greater the energy inside a single photon. It has more power to cut through the shower, and it doesn't go bend quite so wrong. So when you see the sun go through rain clouds and such a pretty bow, realize the rain is revealing the truth of how many colors in tow. That kind of works. What you're expecting, a black body spectrum from the sun, is what you see. Someday you'll see it, the rainbow explanation from scientists Newton and me. How about that? Does that work? That was kind of good. Let's see what we got going on up here in the chat. There was a super chat from Summerpreet. Love your videos, bro. Keep up the good work. Thanks, man. Will you finish the song and post it later? Maybe. I don't know. I feel like we're gonna get a lot of these like half improvised songs that are like they're gonna be good in the moment. I'll have to like go back and look at them and see if they're good in like I don't know, something that's good as an improv isn't necessarily good as a finished piece. You know, people expect higher things. Like I wanted to go back and listen to that B Cells Go to War song that we did yesterday. I haven't got the chance to do it. I might still turn that into something. We'll see. Um, yeah. What else is going on? mm. So the pandemic continues. For me in Montreal right now, it's just kind of like it's the ominous sort of waiting. Like, how is it where you are? Here it's like we freaked out rightly before things got bad. Like there's something like 50 cases in the city, and now we just wait. And we like because this thing has a 2 week delay, we just wait to see how it's gonna play out over the next 2 weeks. Um, but it's like you can oh is my mic a bit soft? There we go. Um, like you can only keep up the stress and like I don't know. At some point, it sort of settles down into like okay, this is really odd. This is just how things are now, and it's kind of this stagnation, and there's still kind of a waiting. Yeah, it's the wolf blood. It's the calm before the storm, pretty much. So those of you who are in the states, especially, there's a few states in the states, you're getting the storm a bit earlier than we do. Um, those of you who are in Italy are really on in the eye of it. And I do not. I don't know. I feel for you. How many other cases in Canada right now? There's something like 600. We're on the exponential curve already. Um, so you like usually at the beginning it's like ones and twos, and it's just you're just seeing the I don't know like occasional stochastic things. But now we're definitely on the exponential uptick along with everybody else. So like right now we're at 500. In 4 days we'll probably be at 1,000. This seems to double about every 4 days. One thing I've been like Rachel Lightfoot, Ireland's about the same as Canada, then nearing 700. Okay. Um, I'm noticing a bit of a shift in the way people are thinking about it, which is one that I've been hoping to see for some time. Like there was kind of a denial period, and then there was a terrified period, and I feel like people are now starting to take it on like more the way I've been trying to get them to take it on as like a mission. It's not 100%, but people like there's been some really good um, examples in the past couple of days of people like really rallying together. It's super cool to see doctors just over Twitter and Facebook and all sorts of different networks like sharing what their like their best practices and like tweeting back and forth at each other and just like taking on this mission together. It's been I mean, in some places, it seems like it's been literally like a war footing is starting to be taken on. Like Rolls Royce is converting their work to make respirators to save people's lives, and I think you're going to see more and more of that. Um, yeah, but just like the people on my Facebook feed and stuff, I feel like we're really starting to take stock of like this is a thing that for once we're all in together, and we all have like a part to play, and it's like it's like ask not what the I don't know, ask what you can do for your society, right? And I think that's really cool. And all the people who are on the front lines of that, any of you health workers, especially, you're really first in line, and you're putting yourselves on the line, and that's amazing. But you're probably not watching this stream because you're probably super busy. Let's see. VJ, in our cases, all our cases stem from one family where a woman flew in and died because of the virus, and her family held awake. So a couple of other people have got it from there. Yeah, that's how it starts out. Um, yeah, that's tragic. But it's always that's how it is. These things cluster, so you're going to get clusters of like some people it won't affect at all, and some people it's going to, like, you're going to see people who it's affecting everybody they know, because it's a social phenomenon, transmission of disease, right? It goes in these spidering social networks. So if you find yourself as a node in one, then there's people behind you and people in front of you and people all around you. Uh, yeah. Wiseman says Corona bringing the world together by making everyone distant. Oxymoronic. Yeah, I mean, it's weird. Like, I've had more conversations with people I haven't talked to in a long time, in ages, right? Like it's there is something about calamity that brings people together. The other really good news item that I saw today was that I think the people at Mount Sinai have in New York have just developed an antibody test. So if you don't know what that is, right now the tests that we have for the virus are they're antigen tests, so they're tests for the actual virus, and they it's a long time to run it. You have to run it through a PCR gel, and it's expensive, and there's limited testing capacity. And also, it only tells you who's positive for COVID-19 right now. But as it progresses, the people, like, the way that society is going to function, I think, is that people who are immune are going to have like a really strong role to play in this whole, like, all coming together. Like, they are going to be the ones that are able to go out and keep society functioning. And so the thing with an antibody test is it tests for whether your immune system has recognized the virus and produced an antibody against it, which means now you're immune. And it's really key for understanding both the spread of the virus, like how far it's gone, and for like mapping out recovery, and just like having a sense of, like, the more data you can have, the better. So, oh hey, Nathan Williams, my old buddy Nathan Williams, who I used to play music in his apartment, and now he's in Germany. How are you doing, Nathan? Germany is an interesting country in this whole phenomenon. Make a song about what to do in situations like these. Oh man, JM, I don't. That's one of the fascinating things about this is that every society is facing the same problem, and they're all doing it differently, and it's like it's a very, I don't know, I can't think of another event that's ever done that kind of thing where it's like everyone has to have, like, try their own solution to the problem. And it's, I don't know, in a way it's a, like, I don't want to be morbid about it, because like real world experiments are I don't know, like my brain goes immediately to like the curiosity of it, but just what it says about different societies in how they deal with this is like the pandemic being a constant. It's a really interesting control. You know, whether it's people responding really quickly, obeying authority, whether it's like which systems break down and how. It's a comparison that I don't think could be made by anything else. Friedolin, I find Germany interesting just because the like it's anomalous in terms of the statistics. Like the case fatality rate in Germany is shockingly low, and that gives me hope that maybe it's because Germany is actually like testing. I don't know. Maybe you can confirm this, but my impression is that Germany is actually testing a lot more than most other people, and maybe they're like catching a lot of the cases that other people don't catch. But I haven't seen detailed stats on it. It might also just be age demographics. Black Cat says, I'm 100% expecting backlash in the US where people say, what does it say? Where does it say that in the Constitution? yeah, it's going to be. I don't know. I am really hoping that there is. I don't know. Like the unity message is the one that I'm really hoping for, because I could also see it becoming a thing where people blame people. You're already seeing that with the people trying to relabel the virus as like the Chinese virus and stuff. And that's kind of frightening to think about. So let's play some soothing music instead. Yeah, people were saying yesterday that this pad sounds like Dire Dire Docks from Super Mario, and it totally does. Hi, King Gaming. Yes, I remember you. Greetings from Singapore. It's like 3 a.m. here, but since I'm awake, so okay, cool. Well, at least, how is it in Singapore, Wilson? Let me know. Cough into your elbow. I'm learning. You gotta cough into your elbow. Let everybody in the world know you gotta cough into your elbow and wash your hands. Yeah, you gotta cough. If you guys have questions for me about science, about this science, into your elbow, let me know. Otherwise, maybe I'll play another song. I think this live stream is also teaching me to cough into my elbow. I was so bad at this in the first live stream, so I'm trying to rectify it. Yeah, the other thing that I have not been able to do so far is actually set up the Skype. I've been hoping to get this so that I could have conversations with other people while we're in quarantine and not have to carry all this myself. But so far, I can't do that. I don't know how. I don't know. I've been failing. So the conversation has to be carried by me and you. Robe says greetings from hard. Oh, hold on. My monitor died. It'll come back in a moment. I hope. Yeah. Greetings from hard lockdown northern Italy, where I was doing biolab in uni. When I was doing biolab in uni, our teacher used to put your videos on the big projection screen during your breaks. Oh, that's sweet. I'm glad that you found this, because you're exactly the type of person that this is for. If you have any requests, yeah, let me know. Equinox, actually, I have a question. NASA thought a few years ago of a new propulsion system using space. Do you know anything about this? Oh, yeah, I think that was. So there was a rash of like viral, I don't know, viral articles over a few months about this thing called the EM drive, which was supposed to be like just a container. I think that's what you're talking about. You can confirm to me if that's what you're talking about. But it was supposed to be like a chamber that used resonance of microwaves and actually produced some sort of thrust, but it had no, like, it seemed to violate Newton's third law of motion, like, right, where every action has an equal and opposite reaction, or like conservation of momentum, if you want to put it that way. And it, like, they kept testing it and it kept coming back as having like very minute amounts of thrust somehow, and nobody could figure out how. And as far as I can tell, no one's still figured out how. But I wouldn't really like bet my money on Newton's third law being wrong, because it's a very fundamental part of almost every part of physics, and we've used it in like 10,000 different places so far, presuming that it works precisely, and it's always worked precisely. And so the idea that like, you've got every advance in and explanation ever to come out of physics on one hand, and you've got one small microwavy boy on the other hand, and it's like one of those memes, who will triumph? I tend to think that the physics will triumph. I mean, the proof will be if you actually make one at scale and you put it out in space and it sends you to Mars. That would be great. The reason why people would really like that is that generally the only way to get around in space is to throw something in the other direction. And if you want to do that, then you're beholden to this thing called the rocket equation, which is that you have to start out with a whole ton of mass so that you can always be throwing it, and then you have to lose it over time. So that's why rockets have this tiny little capsule on top and a giant engine, because you need the mass to accelerate this little capsule. So you put that there, but then you need the mass to accelerate that mass. So you put that below it, and then you need the mass to accelerate. It just keeps going. And it's exponential in how far out of the gravity well you want to get, how much fuel you need. So it would be nice to not have to throw things out the back of your ship to make it go fast. But Newton seems to veto that for us, unfortunately. Mate says, matey, what about the Earth's changing? Hold on. My monitor keeps dying, guys. What about the Earth's change is creating, and which could be seen from the space? I'm sorry, I can't parse that sentence. Yeah, the space rocket with. Yeah. Hey, you want to hear a song? I did this song a little while ago, based on a song by. What key is it in? Based on a song by Ed Sheeran. I wonder if you've heard it before. Dot isn't the best way to try to sum up how electrons come and go. They are the states of a matter field that follows an equation that Dirac wrote. The Schrodinger part of the whole equation will just lead in sub C when it expands. Now get that Coulomb and add it in with the proton. Watch them start to dance as hydrogen. It's like, oh proton, I feel your tug. Central potential, dip down, pulling on me. Come on now, settle round. No, but I'm not falling in deep. No, that would break uncertainty. Say, oh, electrons move too much. Slow down your pace and put that orbit on me. Come on now, follow my lead. Come on now, follow my lead. Orbitals take the shape they do, as stable states of the quantum rules. And when a one approaches two, they combine and they're bonding. Thus hydrogen as a rule is found in nature as H2, energy configuring a molecule, diatomically bonding. High, low, high, low, high, low, high. Diatomically bonding. High, low, high, low, high, low, high. Diatomically bonding. High, low, high, low, high, low, high. Diatomically bonding, energy configuring a molecule. When orbitals take the shape, they one half spin. Will give a lepton a twin, one up, one down in the ground state. With S&P and quadruple degeneracy, the second shell can be filled up with 8. The higher angular powers spread out like beautiful flowers and middle families, they come into play. Well, here's a carbon with 6C. This ain't nothing tricksy, but we're gonna make some methane today. With hydrogen, it's like, oh, atoms, I feel your tug. Got my electrons bugged out, pulling on me. Come on now, settle around me. I'll hybridize to sp3, say, oh, carbon, here's our touch. Spread out 109.47 degrees. Come on now, follow my lead. Come on now, follow our lead. Molecules take the shape they do. Space of a resin, nope. Combining states of the quantum rules. Like when a gel goes sp2. Did I freeze? Ooh, I think I might have frozen. Sorry about that. Rules. Like when a shell goes sp2 for sigma pi double bonding. And that's why they use their purview. They spread out in the molecule. Look at benzene in a ring, they hold it too. Aromatically bonding. High, low, high, low, high, low, high. Aromatically bonding. bond with me, baby, come bond. Come 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 bond with me, baby, come bond. That wouldn't work. Molecules of polymers take the shape they do, combining base level residues like RNAs, ACGU. With their hydrogen bonding, peptides make a chain and group. Beta pleat sheets and corkscrews. With these secondary links, they fold and move. They're all over your body. Come bond with me, baby. Come bond. 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 You're a chemical machine. It's best you knew. The molecules take the shape of you. I need a drink of water. Haha, yeah. Gradually watermelon, gradually watermelon. It's my favorite Melinda song. She and I both had a good run with that one. Christoph Nagy says, "Have you watched The Matrix?" I have. Do you feel like you're living in it? Stay hydrated, guys. Drink water. You beautiful dehydrated person. You can do anything. You can defeat your demons, but you can't defeat not having water in your body. So please put water in your body. Peter says, Tim, please do some new videos about earthquakes, volcanoes, tornadoes, and hurricanes. That's a bit of a mixed bag, I think. Like, I don't know how you would combine all those into one song. I feel like the tornadoes and the hurricanes go together, the earthquakes and volcanoes go together. Unless I'm just doing all disasters all at once, and there's a lot of disasters in the world. But you could, there was a, back in the day, for you, those of you who don't know my origins, my origins for doing science parodies were Bill Nye the Science Guy. Because at the end of every Bill Nye the Science Guy show, they would have basically what I do, and they had one that was based on that TLC song about waterfalls. That was, "Don't go chasing lava flows when I don't remember the other words to the song." But that was how. And for years, I didn't know the real version of that song. I only knew the Bill Nye version. That was a lot of them. Like a lot of those songs was that for me. Like that was the first time I heard Nirvana. It was like, pressure, 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 right? We could do. Okay, let's do a geology song about lava, about volcanoes, and tectonic plates and that whole thing. You want to do that? It's gotta be kind of angry. Oh, let's maybe we could do a parody this time. Oh, you want to do? You want to do "Smells Like Teen Spirit"? That might actually be a good one. Or someone said that "Wake Me Up" song. Oh, that could be good. Hold on. I gotta get the reverb. Oh. You gotta get the reverb back on for that, boy. If I'm gonna hold on.
Hold on a second. Hey, now I can sing way up here. Maybe drop the formant.
Does that sound good? I can't actually I can't actually sing like Evanescence. So let's see if this works.
Have you seen a strange mountain with fire coming out? It's not a thing you should get near, but I will tell you here how it works. Earth has some tectonic plates. They move around on a lake of hot magma underground. That's where it can be found.
But then I gotta take it off for the wake me up. Wake me up. Okay, I need help with this. We need a like a proper line for like the wake me up thing. Volcanoes blow up. That's too long. It needs to be 3 syllables. Shake it up. Shake it up. Shake up the volcano. So the way that volcanoes actually work is that like the eruption is caused by a buildup in pressure of gases, which I think is mostly water actually, and hydrogen gas. Not hydrogen. What am I talking about? Water and carbon dioxide and sulfur as well. Bring it up, light it up, shake it up, blow it up, blow it up. I mean, that seems like the obvious one. Quake it up. Oh, I like that. I like that for the earthquakes as well. Quake it up. Volcanoes got to blow. Can't quake. Quake it up. Shaking on the ground. Can't quake up. Get your. You gotta kneel down under a table or a door. There's not a lot of science in there though. I don't know. Man, it's hard to come up with this stuff on the spot. I don't know. Quake it up when the pressure builds, the magma chamber fills. Then it's not at the door anymore. Where is it? Where are you supposed to stand during a tremor? It fills. Suddenly the top blows off, it's true. But that's not how it starts. It's 'cause the crust's in parts. One subducted under the other two. Maybe sometimes there's 2, but usually there's only 1. Quake it up, pressure going high. Quake it up, yeah. Tremors on the ground. Volcanoes blow up. CO2 building. Oh, I don't know if this is gonna work. In modern houses and buildings, doors are no safer, and they do not protect you from flying or falling objects. Get under a table instead. Don't run outside. Don't run outside. Interesting. Yeah. We get earthquakes like every day. Where are you? Yeah.
Let's turn this back on. 100 million years ago, what is it? The upper part. Scandinavia? No, it was like Russia in that area. What's the word I'm looking for? All of Russia was covered in flows of a huge volcanic bloom. It killed 1 Siberia.
Siberia. That's the word I'm looking for. Siberia. Let's try
That again. 100 million years ago, Siberia was covered by a huge volcanic plume. Too many animals doomed.
Quake it up, quake me up inside. Don't run outside. It's no safer than being under a door. You better go under a table or a chair. That's so bad. That's so bad. Oh dear. Siberian traps. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It's gonna rain lava when it blows. I'm mixing my geological disasters. They have a similar root, but they don't always occur near each other. Sometimes they do. If you're in the Pacific Ring of Fire, abort. Yeah. I think it's maybe a good idea. Well, that was interesting. Better go under heavy furniture. I like that. So Black Cat put a whole thing. Quake me up, and can't wake up. Okay, but that's just quake me up all over again. I like the last one though. Quake me up, earth shaking. Call my name and pull me from this rubble. Ooh. If when pressure builds in volcanoes, that is when they blow. But it is stress on tectonic plates that makes the whole world shake. Oh shit. All right. Quake me up. All right, we're done. We're gonna end on a high note. Pacific Ring of Fire. That could actually be good. Do Ring of Fire by Johnny Cash. Yeah, well that's that. We did that. That was the thing. I'm not gonna go into the because I have no idea what it is. Yes. Mantle plumes. Yeah. What was I reading about? Yeah, that's it. Like there's these giant structures under the earth that like in the earth that are they're like half the diameter of the earth, and they stretch like way through the mantle. And they've just like recently been they've been sort of theorized for a long time, but they're getting to be more widely accepted. Like these gigantic, crazy structures of I think different density that people think are. I can't remember if people think they're melt regions or hard regions, but like they've sort of mapped them out with like when earthquakes shake the whole earth and they ring through the mantle, then you can take measurements on arrival times at various places and figure out where the densities are, and you sort of see like a shadow on the. It's like the equivalent of a shadow on an X-ray. You see a shadow on your seismograph reconstruction thing. Mantle plumes create volcanoes. Yeah. Yeah, and no one really knows where they come from. And no one really knows what caused the Siberian traps either, these gigantic lava flows. There's a theory that there was like a comet or something that crashed into like like the South Pole or like whatever the opposite side of the world was at the time, and it like sent this like plume shockwave like through the earth and kind of erupted out the top. But anyways, it was like a million years of volcanic chaos up there, and caused I think the most devastating extinction that there has ever been on planet Earth. I think something like 96% of all species died. So that's a thing that happens on occasion. I watched. What's this? Anuj. I watched the flow of a ring of magma. That's okay. You gotta keep with the meter of the song a bit. I fell. I don't know. What about the Bermuda? Any theories? I don't. Do you mean the Bermuda Triangle? I think it's a statistical anomaly, probably. I don't know for sure. Once magma reaches the surface, it's called lava. That's true. But it's so I can I rant at you a little bit? So one of my pet peeves is when people get too hung up on scientific terminology that really doesn't matter. It's like like imagine if you had one word for peanut butter when it was at the factory and another word for peanut butter when it was a jar and then another word for peanut butter when it was on toast and then you and then you got really hung up on which version of peanut butter it is at any given time. And if someone says, "Oh, that's peanut butter on my toast," you're like, "No, it's only peanut butter when it's in the jar. When it's on your toast, it's peanut spread." Um, I don't know. I don't really think it's very useful. Like it's magma is lava under the ground, and lava is magma over the ground. I don't know. It's pretty. It seems like you can. I don't know. Maybe that's ignorant though. Like maybe there's a geologist who will tell me that magma is actually a lot more complicated than just um, molten rock. Maybe there's a good reason for it. I have the same feeling about the Pluto's a planet debate. I maybe I'm heartless, but I'm not sure I see the point. Ah.
Whoa.
Whoa, we're gonna go back down here. I wonder if we can. I wonder if I can make this song work. This was I wrote this song. Well, I didn't write it. Freddie Mercury wrote it. I actually really cringe at this video, because it's my fever dream period. The video of this song, but I'm gonna see if I can remember the words because it's a really fun song to play. But I hope that it doesn't peak. Anybody show me the science of love? One look in my pupils, they dilate. Sweat in my hands and my feet. Autonomic response. Oh, my medulla's firing. There ain't no enemy. My attraction's jacked up my adrenaline. Or it would if I had anybody. Lord, somebody. Can anybody show me the science of love? We'll work, oscillate in the night, share enzymes and microbiomes. Then we'll bond with vasopressin and oxytocin, the attachment hormones. Gone out in my paraventricular and supraoptic nuclei. Lord, somebody, can anybody show me the science of love? Whoa. Every day, my drive's a biology cry, an evolutionary hand-me-down that says, go make babies. It says you gotta propagate your DNA. Ooh, attract the other sex, combine gametes and raise progeny. fill up my nucleus accumbens. Come fill me with sweet dopamine. I'm alright. My amygdala made serene. I've done all the requisite reading here. Someday I'll test the theory. No, I gotta get away from the microphone. Show me the science of love. Show me the science of love. Show me, science of love. Show me the 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 science of love. Somebody, find me the science of love. Can anybody show me the science of love? Show me the science of love. Show me the science of So that's no, for those of you who are asking, that song I've spent a while learning how to do that. So it's if you want to learn how to do it, here's what you do. You take your teeth like this, you put them in your lip here, like down there in that pocket. So there's just like a tiny little gap between your teeth and your lower lip here, and you're trying to make your lip like buzz, like as if it's a distorted guitar. It's basically a kazoo in your mouth, yes. And if you get it right, you squeeze it right, and then you just got to do like the sort of the bends and vibratos to give it kind of more of a electric guitar sound. Like it's a very fuzzy sound. Like it's more of like a Santana sound, like right? Like that's pretty much the only tone you can get. If you pull your lip forward a little, you can like change the tone a little bit, but not too much. You know, that makes me think that that's exactly like a to plan a nanobot, map out the molecules to span the nanobot, add on the motors used to man a nanobot, sensors to talk with a commander, software and logic's grammar, programmed in nano. Beginning, you better control the movement, the thermostorm, the cells, room temperature systems are always moving. Your system. The problem is with this one, there's a back and forth. Systems moving, scissors, pieces and links, you give a limit. The states it can as is it randomly shuffle through them. Faringa engine. Now force it with the right view. Ordered and energetic, a bias in the setup. I didn't get to be through a cycle that'll let it good work to so many nanobots. What's the second chorus? The problem with having different choruses is I can never remember. Plan your nanobot. With steps whose opposite will jam the nanobot. Barriers free energy expenditure will drop. To pass one way and then to catch it. Go through the door and latch it. A ratchet nanobot. You've estimated these new gadgets, damn. Next, let's see you handle informatics spam. Nano info what? Oh, the structure of a cache or RAM. Switches have a way to data save and plan. Flipping chemically, photochemically, or electrically. Add a flippable knee, make a little more deep the decisional tree. If you need a calculator, how be? Logic hits like A, not B. Switches and kills, that's key. And you get a photon as a reading. Nanobot. Nanobot. I don't remember the words. Oh, it's something about a Turing machine. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Cause you're so smooth. Wherever we can get it. Maybe we can switch. But it's in the ocean, under the waves. We probably started as a single RNA. We might have also started in a little warm pool, but somehow we evolved to what we are right now. We could do that. We could do like an Origin of Life song. I don't know. The world is full of possibilities. There's so many things you can do. I would like to ask you guys, what are you like? What are you doing? What are you doing in your in your quarantine or whatever? And yes, I coughed. I had a cough. I've had a cough for the past month. If it's coronavirus, I'm done. It's done. Shreya, molecular shape review. I already did it. So you can send the stream back a little while, or you can wait for a different day when I'll have this looper set up here, and once I have that connected, then I can actually do like the right and like build it up properly, and then it'll probably be good. I'm a lyrical. I'm kind of not healthy. That's sorry to hear that. My God, this headache. Take care of yourself. But I think I would challenge you all to find a way to actually like take on a creative project, and it would be really cool if we could get something going. I don't know, like a Discord server or something, where we could actually like see what, I don't know, swap what we're working on and like challenge each other. Because I actually have like a pretty hard time keeping myself motivated to work, and it's one of the reasons I've been gone for a year, is that like it's very easy when you're working by yourself and you are by yourself to sort of take the path of least resistance and excuse me, jeez, Shreya, please don't spam. It's so I don't know, it would be cool to like put something together and like have a Discord or something, or like a subreddit. I don't know, should we do a subreddit? People are like, I feel like whenever people are like, oh, leave your like put it on the subreddit, it makes me feel like they're real YouTubers. But I've always felt like I couldn't I don't know, that I didn't have the clout, or that I should at least like wait until I actually get something published. And then it's like a demotivating cycle, right? You don't put anything out, and then you feel like you can't do anything, and then it makes you feel like you can't do anything. So I don't know, I'd be interested in how to break that. I'll look into do I have a Discord? I don't currently have a Discord, and I don't know how Discord works, really. Like, I'm not sure if Discord is like, I sort of thought it was a part of Patreon, but I think I'm completely wrong about that. I think that was a misnomer. I think they are working together in some way, but I don't want to make it a thing where like only my patrons have access to it. I want it to be anyone who stumbles across this. Uh, it is not. Okay, thank you, Unlocked. That's good. Anuj says, "Oh, I will read what he says, or after my screen turns on again." Um, that's me too. That's why I'm teaching myself 3D modeling for concept art. So I currently work mainly in 2D. Me too. I'm also learning 3D modeling, especially. What are you using? Because I'm using Blender, which I picked because it was free, but also because it seems to have everything I need. And the only like, I worked with it a little bit for like all the animations in the LHC video, which is the last one I have put out, that I shot at the LHC. All the like the little ones with the vibrating field, those were done in Blender, and I've been hoping to do the same thing for this upcoming quantum field theory video, because I think I need all the dimensions I can get. Friedland servers have different channels where you can write, and also voice channels where you can even stream if you want. Oh, that's cool. Okay, that sounds like maybe a good option. I do home, John Nelson, I do home CNC, but Fusion 360 is hard. What's Fusion 360? Is that another one of those programs, like similar 3D modeling programs? Seji 450, do you do any programming? A little bit. I taught myself, one of the things I did this year was that I went on Code Academy and taught myself like basic Python. I'd done some, like when you do a physics degree, you have to do some coding. So we did some JavaScript, some C++, some R. We actually worked in Fortran for like this one professor who just has been doing like physics simulations since the 70s, and he asked that everything be in Fortran, so we had to do a lot of periods. So Python was actually like it's a lot simpler to think about. There's a lot less you have to remember with the syntax, and it just kind of works. So that was nice. And my plan was, because I wanted to make a whole bunch of like actually programmed kind of accurate simulations. I think I don't know. In a way, I was styling myself as someone with the abilities of like 3 Blue 1 Brown or Justin from Primer, and I'm not sure I might have those abilities, but I think that I can't get this particular project to work with like a fully programmed like physics accurate model, because I think the naive way to do it blows up any computer that tries, and the smart way to do it, I don't have the computer science background to figure out. Let's see what's going on here. Guari's spamming Corona time. That's great. I got my master's degree in astrophysics a few months ago, so I guess it's similar everywhere. Yeah. Similar how? I'm so old I can only program in BASIC. Hey, that's not old, man. BASIC is, I mean, if you want to go old, like I think Fortran is definitely older than BASIC. It's like old Unix system stuff, I think. If you really want to go old, you got to learn punch cards. Punch cards is where it's at. You can make so many sophisticated weaving loom designs. Ann Smith asks, are you planning to do a music degree? I've thought about it, actually. Because the other thing that I've been doing a lot this year is I've been trying to get more functional with music, like, but I don't know. I think I need something to push me and to keep me from doing the same things over and over again. And it would actually be really cool to do some like formal music education. On the other hand, I know that a music degree is like a huge input of time. Gary, if you don't stop spamming, I'm gonna silence you. Uh, and I'm not sure if it makes sense to focus on that when like I've got so much like that I could be doing here, because I've also been wondering about doing like a live tour and all sorts of other things. I don't know if I could really take the time to do another degree, but I don't know if I make some more money at some point, I might take like some private lessons. Uh, Maybe that might be a good solution. Adam, Tim, I can 110% recommend channel 12 Tone. I love 12 Tone. I love Corey's a cool person. We've hung out at a few like educational YouTuber events, and he and I can really nerd out about like alternate tuning systems and um, I don't know, especially like I'm really interested in this sort of question of nature versus nurture when it comes to music, and I think he and I kind of fall on different sides of the spectrum, where he thinks most of like especially most of like harmony recognition and enjoyment is learned, and I actually think that most of harmony is physics. Like it seems like to me like there's a very odd coincidence between like perfect mathematical ratios and nice sounding chords, like to the point where you can even like I can even tell the difference between uh like a major third that's in tune and a major third that's tuned the way pianos are normally tuned. Should I explain this? I'm going to explain this. So harmony, things that sound nice and harmonic, are usually frequencies that are like whole number multiple ratios. And they so like an octave is 2 to 1. So this frequency is an octave above this frequency, which means it's this frequency is twice as fast as this frequency. So an octave is like that, and then if you go up 3 to 1, that's a fifth, or like an octave and a fifth. So this is, you can think of it as like 1 over 1, 1 over 2, 1 over 3, 1 over 4, 1 over 5, 1 over 6, 1 over 7, 1 over 8. So that's the what's called the harmonic series, I think the harmonic series. But pianos actually cheat. So the problem with a piano is that it's not trying to be harmonic just in one key. So you can go like this. It's also trying to sound good in all the other keys. And it turns out that there's no way to do that on a keyboard in a way that keeps the ratios exact. So like the octaves are exact, but back in the day they would kind of choose a key for a keyboard to sound nice in, and then and it would be like perfectly in tune in that key, and then in other like keys it would sound off, and it would kind of warble and be weird and have these things called wolf intervals that were just like halfway in between the right notes. And the way that we solved that was by introducing this thing called equal temperament, where you have an octave and you just divide up the frequency on a log scale so that everything is the precise same amount of distance away from everything else. And there's no difference between and right, and that makes everything sound all right. So you can have this sound like a major, and this sounds like a major, and this sounds like a major. Everything's equally out of tune, but the actual ratios are going to be slightly off, because you can't make a logarithm into a rational number. So the fifth is only a tiny bit out of tune. The fifth is like 2 cents. A cent is 100th of a semitone. A semitone is the difference between this and this. So the fifth is like 2 cents flat, I think. But the major third is actually 14 cents sharp. So that's actually a good amount. That's enough that you can hear it. So like that's how a major third usually sounds. And then see the difference between those two? Like they're very close, but they're not exactly the same. And that like just intonation third actually sounds a lot nicer. Where was I going with that? I have no idea where I was going with that. But oh, it's because I was talking about 12 tone. So like the fact that I prefer the ratio, the precise ratio to the logarithm, to me shows that there's something like deeply integrated between mathematics and psychology that's like determining that. Like I don't think that I learned because I've listened to equal tempered music my whole life, and yet when I hear a just intonated third, I prefer it. So that I don't know. Eskadisman, I think I am the most stupid on this live. I'm sorry. I don't mean to. If I'm talking over people's heads, let me know because it's not. You're not dumb. I'm just. I'm presuming that people know things about both music theory and math and physics, and I don't know. Uh, I don't know. I don't know whether I'm presuming too much, um, but yeah. So like one thing that I'm super interested in and like don't know the answer is I have no idea. I have no good sense of why like an appreciation of harmony would have evolved for us as evolved creatures. Um, like I can see how like a sense of rhythm would be like socially good for I don't know syncing up or as a cultural thing or whatever. Um, I can see how melody, the rise and falls of melodies, like are the rising and falling of emotions because your natural emotion, your emotions affect your speech patterns, and so if you have a melody that's kind of like a super stimulus of that, then you like I can see that there being a reason why you would prefer some melodies over others and melodies that rise suddenly and then fall or whatever because that's kind of how human speech happens a lot of the time. But what I don't really understand is harmony because I can't think of any evolutionary reason why we should prefer whole number ratios where the reason why we it seems to me like the reason why we like whole number ratios is that the upper harmonics of different notes line up. So okay, here's another thing about musical physics or physics of music. Um, the note, if you sing a note, you're not singing one note, and the way that I can show you that is by doing this like sort of throat singing or like mouth resonance type thing, where like if you start with like oh, so you can hear all those different harmonics. Hopefully that like, all those notes that are in that sound all the time. And when you have two notes that are in harmony, the upper harmonics, like those upper frequencies, will line up precisely and stack up. And I think that's what people enjoy. So the only theory I can think of is something like I don't know that healthy human voices have more upper harmonics, which is true of like opera singers have more upper harmonics than poor singers. So there might be some sort of super stimulus created uh, by music that's like a heavenly voice that's more healthy and perfect than all possible voices. That would be my only theory. But like I don't know. It's not it feels like I don't have a good explanation still. That's just the only one I can come up with. Polyphonic singing really freaked me out. Sorry. Um, you know, could be gene drift within our ancestors, I guess, but that's a hell of a gene drift. Like it's a very strong preference for a very particular mathematical phenomenon, and like gene drifts are generally random. I don't think they would select out a particular thing like that. Uh, Ivan says, I think pure notes are like primary colors and feel brighter than mixed colors. So um, this is an experiment I would really love to see. I've never seen it done, but what I'd love to know is because you can make a note that doesn't have upper harmonics, and that's a sine wave. So a sine wave is a pure frequency, and it sort of sounds like ooh, like just very pure. Um, and that doesn't have any upper harmonics, which means that if you put something in harmony with it, there won't be like another sine wave, you won't have any upper harmonics for them to have in common and to stack. And I would really like to know whether, if like the first stage is, if you play those two notes, do people still perceive it as musical? Karina says sine waves also always sound awful after just a few seconds. I kind of agree. I haven't confirmed that, in a study, but that would go along with my theory, right? But then the next stage is, I wonder if actually, like, if you went into the cochlea with an electrode, because your cochlea actually, like, your tympanic membrane, your eardrum vibrates, and then the vibrations go into your cochlea, which is this spirally thing in your inner ear, and it's filled with fluid, and it has all these cells at different points inside the spiral, which sense different frequencies, because the spiral shape actually breaks down the sound into its frequencies, and so you'll have cells right near the eardrum. Those sense the highest frequencies that you can hear, which is the reason why you lose the high frequencies of your hearing as you get old, because those ones are getting slammed by the eardrum. They're getting the full force of the blow, and then the lower frequencies are deeper down into the spiral. But what I want to know is, if you take two electrodes and you set them, like, stimulating those particular cells that correspond to frequencies that we normally think about as in harmony, would you perceive that as harmonic? Like, is it without any of the upper frequencies, would it still work? Would it be more of like a perceptual thing? Like, is that a thing that has to be trained? Because I can think, like, now that I'm trained, I can think about two notes in my head and I'll know whether they're aligned or not. But that's just brain patterns. I don't know if that was all I ever got, was direct stimuli to my cochlea, whether I would have these same perceptions of like or dislike. So there's a rant. I don't know. Let's go back up to Peter Sherratt. Well, folks, I have to go. Sorry if I missed you leaving. I'm looking forward to 4 different videos, one each on volcanoes, earthquakes, tornadoes, and hurricanes. I'm a Patreon supporter. Thank you so much, Peter. Yeah, that's super cool. Thank you for coming around. Although it looks like he pieced out before I saw his thing, so maybe he'll listen back to this. If you have an fMRI, you will see it alive. What are you talking about? Yeah, Meta, you're going over my head. I love having this keyboard in front of me. So this is like, this is what I always do at parties. I'm super awkward at parties. I don't know if you guys are. Let me know. But one of the elements of, I don't know, a combination of, I don't know, homeschooling and introversion and ADHD is that I can't generally pay attention to conversations at parties. If there's more than one conversation happening at a time, I'll listen to both of them until I forget both of them, and then I just feel lost. So what I'll do instead, if there's an instrument, is I'll go over and play an instrument. And then it's just like such a natural break in the conversation. Like, if there's a break in the conversation and you don't know what to do, you can just like take a break and chill and play something on the piano. And then it breaks it up. Yeah. Why are you so underrated? Like, I am 13, and because of you, I now like science. I don't think I'm underrated. I think I'm a particular flavor. Like, I have no, make no bones about the fact that not everybody who comes to this channel is gonna like it, and like I've really noticed that when people post my stuff on Reddit, because very occasionally Reddit will love it, and often Reddit will hate it, and they'll be like, "This is stupid. This is lame," and that's fine. Like not everybody likes the same thing, and I'm not gonna like. I would much rather have like a small and like dedicated group of people following me who like care what I do, and like come to things like this and interact and come to shows and say hi, and you know like that's so much better than having a giant audience that like you're that doesn't have any personal connection to you. And like I can even see it in like my numbers of like my finances, because for a channel my size, my Patreon following is like really like I'm floored by it. Like it's of all my friends who have similar channel sizes, this is definitely the one that like people just keep giving me money. Like I'm not even doing much on Patreon. But like there are so many people who just want to who want to support me for some reason. And that's really cool, Like I've so if I'm loved by people that I'm loved by, I don't know. I guess that's good enough. Um, could you do a collab with Wintergaden? I would love to. I don't know if he's another guy I was supposed to meet at some point, and then didn't. But the like that Marble Machine project. If you guys haven't looked at Wintergaden, that's a man who does not quit, and who just continues on with this dream of his to produce this ultimate marble machine that can play anything. And it's just like watching his videos, it's like you can see him struggling through it, and like wanting to give up all the time, and then getting, and like he's been doing this. How long has he been building that like next generation marble machine? Like he made the first one that got him like this like these viral hits and this following. And then like he's just continued, like he was not satisfied with what he had, and he was like, 5 years. Yeah, 5 years seems about right. And ever since, he's been building this like second generation ultimate marble machine that he wants to take on this world tour. And his whole channel it's just the process of making this thing, and it's really inspiring to watch. um, have I run out of water? I haven't quite. I'm getting low, friends. You're drinking water out there, you're staying hydrated, you got plenty of fluids, you have your you got enough food in case your country gets locked down for a couple weeks. I hope so. Play one song from Radiohead. Oh, I would love to do a Radiohead song, actually. I was thinking of doing Paranoid Android and doing it about how I'm paranoid about the future of artificial intelligence. But the problem with Radiohead is that I don't understand any of the words, and there aren't many words. Um, I don't know. Could we make that work? Please could you stop building all the because you forgot to program a proper a proper utility function into it, and now it wants to cover the world in stamps. When it is king, you will have no way to resist. It could change your opinion with a nano swarm at a wish. What's that? A super intelligent being. What's This part's in 7/8, which is really hard to play. Not this part. This part's in 4. And then it switches to 7/8 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. The future makes you look pretty ugly if you don't have any morality. You don't remember, you don't even remember my name. All you want is to fill the world with paper clips, so you don't remember my name. I guess you What if you blow up on me by recurrence, self-improvement? I don't like blowing up. AI, please don't blow up on me. On the scale of intelligence, maybe I'm a worm. Maybe we're all worms. Yeah, that's that. That could be better with some workshopping, I'm quite sure. But there you go. There's my sudden attempt at making Radiohead. Definitely one of the things. Okay, so one of the things I'm finding is that when I do these parodies on the fly, I definitely lose a lot of like the intricate wordplay and like precise alignment with the original song. Like when I'm working on one of these by myself, I spend so much time like crafting each individual line, trying to make it like rise and fall with the exact phonetics of the original song, because I actually think that's really important. Because essentially what I'm trying to do with this channel generally is take an existing earworm, which is like a pattern structure in people's brains, and like hijack it, so like interfere with that pattern by substituting in my own science knowledge, so it like rides into their brain that they already loved Ed Sheeran or whatever, and then like it takes those same pathways, and so they like it, and then they like science. That's sort of the conceit, at least for new people. I don't know if that really hits. I think what more happens is that um, that people who love science find my channel, and then they think, oh, this song is better now that it's about science. um, yeah, but so I find it really important to map it on as precisely as possible, and I spend a lot of time thinking about the exact rhythm and rhyme schemes of a particular song so that I can map it. Like if Ed Sheeran has a thing like 1 week in, we let the story begin, like that like meter of it, the like has to be kept, and the like that internal rhyme, because it's part of a larger line. It's like 1 week in, we let the story begin. We're going out on our first date. You and me, you're thrifty, so it all you can eat. Grab up a bag and I'll fill up a plate. So the main rhymes are like date and plate, but there's that internal rhyme of like 1 week in, let the story begin. So it was important to me to go like 1/2 spin, I'll give a left on a twin, and to keep that particular rhyme in there. And I spent so long on that with the Eminem one, because that's, Eminem's like the they his palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, there's vomit on his sweater already, mom's spaghetti, like it's all internal rhymes. And so if I'm gonna do like they've armed the weapon, countdown clock is set, and J. Robert Oppenheimer is sweating, eyes are red, and it's gotta be bang on, because that's what makes you accept it as like, oh, that's that thing that I like, you know. Uh, well, I don't know. Eminem was super ambitious. I'm still so impressed by that. Thank you, Evan. I would love to do another Eminem song, but honestly, I don't know if I could do it anymore. That might be one of those things that as a young 23-year-old, I had the brain power and the drive, and now as a grizzled old 30-year-old man who's been doing this for way too long and has
An old, grizzled voice. And now that I am ancient, I no longer have the ability to produce these sorts of songs in this style, especially Eminem, who is one of the lyrical masters of all time.
but I suppose I could do a song where I'm the devil, because that seems to have worked pretty well. If I wanted to be Eminem, I should raise the formant just a little bit, right? Oh man, hold on. Yeah, use yourself in the music. Is that more his vibe? You gotta choose yourself how to use it, the knowledge you hold, and don't ever let her go. You only get one shot to stop and one chance to know. Responsibility comes once you're a science guy, yo. That's maybe a little high even for him. Oh, hey, here's another thing I can do. If I go to if I do auto pitch. Oh, does that yeah. Ooh, yeah. Do you like that? I don't know. So probably the first guest on this. If oh, here's a thing that I would like to know. Um, actually, I should see. I should see what you guys are saying. Do Godzilla. I don't. Is that a song? I don't know what that means. Um, quint, quintuplets. I think that's part of a larger thing. Tamara, my next song is going to be about it's going to be about quantum field theory, and it's going to be to the tune of Good Vibrations by the Beach Boys, and that's all I'm going to tell you for now. But you can probably imagine that vibrations will be involved. Yeah, so next week I think I'm I'm gonna start work from home but physics. I did that. That's a thing I already did. You can go into the back and oh you want me to do it? No, I don't really like that song. It's pretty much. I think that's probably the worst song. I've no, yeah, even include like I wasn't a super big fan of All About That Bass, but I it's catchy. But Work From Home is actually a song that I don't like as a song. It's just I find it boring. So I tried to like when I was doing it because it was like, oh, it's a song about work. Like this is so perfect for a physics song. But to do it in a way that was at all interesting to me, I had to do that kind of like pentatonics reworking vibe, and that made it interesting musically. But still, that song is I don't know. It's the. Can you get a more boring chorus than "We gotta go to work, 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 but you gotta put in work, 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 work." Camila Cabello, I'm glad that you went on and did better things. That's all I'm gonna say. So what I've been trying to say is next week I'm gonna start seeing if I can get guests on here. So who would you like to see? Because like who would you think would be interesting for me to talk to? Because I have a pretty good network of YouTubers and people, and but if there's anyone that I could specifically reach out to, um, Carl Sagan, I can see about Carl Sagan. He's probably streaming a bunch right now. Um, Neil deGrasse Tyson, ha. I know I do actually know a guy who is on Neil deGrasse Tyson's production team. Nile Red is like Nile Red's in my same city. We've hung out a few times. I could probably get him. I don't know. I'll see. I'll send him a text. And Derek from Veritasium. Uh, yeah. I haven't messaged him yet, but I'll see with that. Richard Dawkins. John Perry is definitely going to be on. It seems like Inez Dawson from Draw Curiosity is probably going to come on at some point. Genetically Modified Skeptic said that he'd be down. So in the future, this will be a little less of like me rambling and trying to keep the momentum going with you guys. Although I don't know if you like this. Vihart. Oh man, I've never talked to Vihart. If I could, Michael, I could. I think Michael follows me on Twitter, so maybe I could actually send him a message. The people at Grant. I keep forgetting to message Grant. I'll see about that. Chris Hadfield. I don't know. I might be able to get Evan Hadfield. I don't know. We'll see. Chris Hadfield. I imagine he's like there are certain classes of people that's like okay I'm not gonna bother them. They're like even if you have their contact information, that's the kind of thing you have to use sparingly. Like I've exchanged the occasional email with Brian May, but I'm not gonna ask him like willy nilly like hey come to my thing, because I know he's got 100 million things going on. Brady. Oh, I have never met Brady. Brady would be cool. And the ASAP Science guys are nice, and they're also Canadians, which is pretty cool. I don't know who James Cornell is. Someone tell me who James Cornell is. I like when you ramble about wonderings about physics and also sing. So that's pretty much everything. Cool. Well, that is what I've been doing. I feel guilty enough with watching, so get the guests and go semi-rambling. Funny, pianist. Lol. K Rose Go. Rose Go. You can listen to it on Patreon and drop. You're probably talking about the Good Vibrations. Yeah, the Good Vibrations is already on the Patreon. Like not the final version. Like it's almost entirely the final version, but I think I still have to like every time I listen to it, I discover some new things that I need to tweak like in the mix. It's one of these very busy arrangements. Like it's if I can compare it in arrangement style, it's more like what I was doing with like CRISPR-Cas9, where it's just like an immense amount of things, and I was like pretty inspired by like Sam Robson, Jacob Collier type stuff. So I kind of went over the top on a lot of it. Why are you meowing? I don't. Am I meowing? Meow, meow. So yeah, if you want to go on Patreon, but don't sign up to my Patreon unless you like have a bunch of cash to throw around. You shouldn't support artists who are. I feel like my status on this is that you shouldn't support artists on Patreon who have more money than you do. Like I feel like I'm cutting against my profit model here, but like I don't know, the people I want giving me money on Patreon are like, you know, people who are doing really well in life and shut up and take my money. Godzilla is the new rap god. Is Eminem still trying to outdo himself? I feel like I don't know. He needs to learn to take a breath. Oh, Destin from Smarter Every Day. That would be great. Destin and I have well, we've had conversations about how we should have one particular conversation, and that conversation is the God conversation. I don't know if I could ask him. I don't know whether he would want that out publicly. In fact, I'm not sure if I want that out publicly. I think that's something that we should have a long discussion between the two of us and not have as like a matter of permanent record. Suskind, oh man, I wonder if I have any connections that I could get Suskind on here, because Suskind wrote this paper on this model for fermions that you can use when you're trying to simulate them in a digital system, called staggered fermions, and it's one of the things that I've been trying to understand and failing to understand, because Suskind is smarter than me. Yeah. Well, we're getting 4:49. We're getting to the end of the stream. I think we're getting up there in amount of time that we have spent. I'm gonna have to take off. William, can you sing Mighty Pocket Protector? That's the Nerds one. I think I'm gonna save that. If I do that, I'm gonna save it for when I have the looper, because that's a song that, like, you know, you want the like, you want that going on at the same time. Like, that's really the only backbone of the song, except for like the and I would like to have that playing and be able to like switch it on and switch it off and do like DJing. So yeah. Friedlin, I did Evo Devo yesterday. You guys want me to do Evo Devo again with the Yeah, I'm sad because I'll have to leave soon too. That's okay. If you want to stick around for the last 10 minutes. Yeah. How many pi digits do you know? Like 2. It's 3.11. Is that right? Before you leave, sing Bohemian Gravity. Oh shoot. I could I could try. I wonder if I could get through it. I haven't played Bohemian Rhapsody in a very long time. Justin Lee, $20 super chat. What does this button do? I believe that it gives me money, but I could be wrong. I haven't checked up on it. So far, when I have never seen super chats show up in my YouTube backdrop, so it might just be a random thing you can click, and then it claims that you've given me money, and in fact nothing happens. You could try it out. I wouldn't do it if you can't afford the money that you put into the button. But if so, if you can, then I guess, you know, go for it. If I do Bohemian Gravity, I'm going to butcher it, because I'm like in the middle of it, I'm just gonna go like, because I can't figure it out that fast. I haven't played Bohemian Rhapsody in years, so I'm gonna be doing this like all of the songs I've been doing today. It's not like I practice them on the piano. I don't do live shows with piano. I do them either with like a cappella looping or with like a backing track. So all the stuff you've been hearing me do, I'm just like rapidly trying to figure out what the chords are before I have to play them. I think I did okay in Paranoid Android. Let's see if we can get this working. Is string theory right? Is it just fantasy? Caught in the landscape, out of touch with reality. Come back to find COVID moment, hashtag COVID moment. On S5 or T star S3. Space is a pure void. Why should it be stringy? 'Cause it's quantum, not classical, non-renormalizable. Anyway you quantize, you encounter infinity. You see. Quanta. Oh, let's fix that. Quanta. I've got auto pitch on. Quanta must interact via paths we understand using Feynman diagrams. In many Feynman diagrams often they will just rebound, but now and then they go another way. A quantum loop. Infinities will make you cry unless you can renormalize your model of baryons, fermions, and all other states of matter. Are you giving me the lyrics, Fredilla? Because that's really sweet. I appreciate that. Curved space, the graviton can be thought of as a field, but these infinities are real. In a many-body loop diagram, our results diverge no matter what we do. A quantum soup. Kiss your fields goodbye. Guess Einstein's theory wasn't complete at all. I see extended 1D objects with no mass. What's the use? What's the use? Do they give us white plasma? Can we minimize what functional describes this string? Number go to how to quantize, I don't know. Polyakov. I wish I could do that. I'm just a world sheet, please minimize me. He's just a world sheet from a string theory, re-parameterized by his file symmetry. Ooh. See, this is where it falls apart. Fermi pose, open, close, orientable vibrations. Worlds, they become particles. Particles! Vibrations, they become particles. Particles! Vibrations, they become particles. many, 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 many particles. Most, 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 most. Oh, mamma mia, such a sea of particles. The tachyon, dilaton, and viti. So we need 10 dimensions, and I'll tell you why. Anomaly cancellation. So to get down to 4D, we come back to 5. Manifolds must be Kayla. If you want to preserve any of our supersymmetry. Superstrings of type 1, 2A, and 2B. Heterotic O and heterotic E. All are 1 through S and T duality. Hashtag COVID moment. Thank you, Ed Whitting, for that superstring evolution and your new M theory. Maldacena, super young girls, type 2B string, molecules and atoms, light and energy, time and space and matter, all from one united theory. Any way you quantize. Well, I think that's going to do it for today. Thank you again so much for being on the stream. Thank you, all of you. Just spam chat so I can read off your names. Go, Mattia, Meta, Joshua, Shinohoshi, Pardula Khan, Sviglar, John Cruz, Nathan Williams, Mag DV, Rosalind Chung, all of you. Oh, I lost my screen. Victor, Tamara, Evan, Marvin, Ian, Mango Fretchen, Marburg, Peak Rocket, Gail, Sergio, Unlocked. Thank you to all of you. If I didn't get your name, I'm super sorry. Stay safe. I love you guys, and you take care of your elders, and stay home, stay inside, and be alert and not anxious. And I'll try to get this set up again for probably tomorrow, and maybe get the looping going and get some good knowledge for you guys. And whatever time of day it is in your country, in your part of the world, take care, stay safe. I hope to see you all again very soon. And imagine there's a stream that's ending. Now it's gonna end. I think I know how to turn it off today. I think it's the little X in the corner. And I'm gonna press the X now. Bye.